Okay, my final question to you is a bit of a challenge, really. In the God delusion, you consistently refer to two different possible explanations for various things, one being a crane, one being a skyhook. And I have to say that for me, that terminology doesn't work terribly well. I find the two actually quite confusing.
Okay.
To me, a crane, if I imagine a building crane, it feels terribly like a skyhook.
Yes,
to
that's
me.
a good point. Okay, the terminology is not mine. It's Dan Dennett, the philosopher Daniel Dennett. And what he means by a skyhook is an explanation which is sort of like a great hand coming out of the sky and fiddling with things. And you're left without an explanation for where this great hand comes from. So God is a skyhook, fairies are skyhooks, spells, incantations, wizards and witches and warlocks and turning frogs into princes. None of that has any kind of explanation. It's all done by skyhooks. And when a fairy tale allows you to wave a magic wand and make things like that happen, that's a skyhook. God's a skyhook. Okay, that's skyhooks. A crane is the opposite of a skyhook. A crane is an explanation which really does elevate. A crane really does explanatory work. Evolution by natural selection is the crane par excellence, because evolution by natural selection starts with primordial simplicity and works up by slow and gradual, intelligible, understandable degrees to ever-increasing levels of complexity until you reach levels of complexity that couldn't conceivably happen by luck. Skyhooks are a kind of inadequate rationalization of luck. A crane is a true explanation